Now it's going. Now
Now?
it's going.
I go to school now? Sorry.
With suitcase?
It's all over my TikTok. I forgot my suitcase. I go to school now?
That is a good one.
that was an iconic sound.
That needs to stay in. That's it. That's how we open it. That's how we open it. There's no hello.
Hi, friends.
Yeah, there it is.
Welcome back to Talking Tandems with Jenna and Curtis, where we talk ourselves into circles for the internet's entertainment. If you are just tuning in now, welcome. This podcast came about during roughly the COVID timeline when we realized that there's a lot more people on this earth that feel alone and feel like they don't have friends. So we wanted to make people feel welcomed.
Yeah, that's not me being depressing this time.
I was just laughing so hard I started crying. Oh, okay. I was gonna say how's your week been, but I guess you could break the news to the podcast listeners.
We'll leave that one alone. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, you have to because you mentioned last week that you have an important call. So Curtis is rocking unemployment right now, but it's gonna get better, and we'll end that there.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't tell you. I got a second interview on Monday for the other place.
Oh, yeah. That's really good. Then. That's really good.
We're still waiting to hear back from the one.
So you might not be on unemployment for much longer.
Hopefully I started it early enough, but we'll see.
That's fair. Yeah, for those who got all the way to the end of the last episode, you might have heard that we made a book club.
Which
we're starting with.
I was gonna say I'm really
Curtis's
excited for.
Universe. Yeah, we're starting with Curtis's universe in like the Brandon Sanderson Mistborn series. If you wanna get into the book, I have not started it because my life's been elsewhere. But if you want to get into it, we're on the Storygraph app, which lets us have book clubs and read-alongs and share a community. So find us there. It's on our Instagram bio link under book club.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, that is where I put it. It should be there. If it's not, oops. But no, it's there.
No, it is, because I got there through it. Also, I'd recommend you doing it on a computer. You can do it on your phone, and you can, like, update your books on your phone. But, like, the initial finding the book club and working the app is kind of easier on a computer.
Absolutely easier. 110 times
easier.
easier.
This week, I'm, like, jumping around, like, freaking, I don't even know what. This week, I've been really heavy back into, like, the UK YouTube side of things. Mm-hmm. But specifically the podcast, I think it's because for the same reason we're doing this podcast, like I just want to feel like I'm listening to conversations and having human interaction, because most of my day I don't have human interaction outside of my parents. So I started, their podcasts are so long over there. Like their average podcast, I think the ones that I'm watching are like an hour and 45 minutes. Yeah, so I can like do it while I listen to it while I work, or it's just like background noise instead of television and stuff. So, yeah.
That seems slightly more productive.
Yeah. One of the guys on the podcast reminds me a lot of one of my friends from college, one of your teammates. Like, how do I explain it? Very, very smart and like
Gotcha.
Is very superficially good looking, but has no like personal awareness of how good looking they are and how people respond to them. So it's really funny watching like the mannerisms of that person overseas and how much they reflect my friend from college.
I'd like to believe you're talking about me, but I know you're not.
No.
I know.
No. Yeah, no.
As I said, I know you're not.
I think you could guess who I was talking about.
Oh, I know. As soon as you said that, I knew who it was.
Yeah, the YouTuber I'm talking about though is I can't remember his name. That's so bad because I just listened to his voice. George Clark.
I have no idea who that is.
He like features on the Sidemen's channel, but he has a podcast. It's like George and Max.
Oh.
Oh no! It's called the Useless Hotline. I just looked it up real quick. Yeah, but it's just again like it's essentially brain rot, but for podcasts. I don't know if you would consider like an hour and 45-minute podcast brain rot.
Maybe. Depends on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize for a while I did things in like silence, which sounds so stalkerish, but I've never been the person that, like, do you know how people always have music playing, or they
Hmm.
always have noise on, or they have a TV? Like, I don't even have a TV, which sounds so sad. I don't have a TV, and I don't really, like, listen to music other than when I'm driving. And so I never understood the idea of, like, always having to have something on the background until I started working full-time at home.
Yeah.
And I realized, oh my God, when you are locked in one room, that's why you do
Yeah, the
it.
sound helps a lot.
Yeah.
It's definitely,
And the British accent is just so fun to listen to.
that's also true.
I want to go to London so bad, Curtis.
Yeah, you're telling me, man. It's still on my bucket list. That, Egypt, and Japan.
I think we should. I don't want to go to. Egypt, I heard, is stunning.
Oh, I want to see just
But
the history. It's also like real
yeah,
scammy.
yeah, but everywhere in that side of the world is scammy.
Yeah.
You go to Paris, and it's like the number one scam site.
True.
You go to New York City, let's be honest,
True.
and it's scammy. Going back to the London thing, I'll talk about that later. But talking about Egypt, everything about Cleopatra keeps coming up on my TikTok.
Is that your Roman Empire? Sorry.
Honestly, yeah. I think about Cleopatra quite frequently. Like, if we're talking about, like, Roman Empire, 100% Cleopatra's
That's
it.
interesting.
Because she's such, like, we know a lot about the Roman Empire. Like, that's why, like, when men say they think about the Roman Empire twice a week, it's because we have documented history of the Roman Empire. There's no history of what Cleopatra did besides what the Romans documented.
True.
For golly, we haven't even found where she died yet.
True.
And she was this, like, I don't think she ended up being, like, a good, like, at the start of her term, I think she was a good woman in leadership. But, like, by the end, I think she fell face first, right?
Probably. I don't remember much about her.
I think all of them did. Like, even Julius Caesar fell face first by the end. I think they just had this, like, idea of, like, they wanted to rule for all time, and you can't just, like, it's nobody
I
in
have
history's worked
specific
out.
feelings
So,
about Julius Caesar.
what are your feelings about Julius Caesar? Let's hear
do
them.
not like the fact that he has changed my calendar and had to have his own month. So now instead of September and October being the 7th and 8th month, July did. And then Augustus also did the same thing with August. They said insert themselves in our
What?
calendar. Yeah, that's why it's January, February, March, April, and that's why it's sept oct non des. 7, 8, 9, 10, the
I
prefixes.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
My issue with Julius Caesar is you go. I don't know if Julius Caesar built the Colosseum. I can't remember. But when I was there, you go and it's this, like, huge thing in the center of Rome, like this big masterpiece, and you're like, oh, it's probably like our sports arenas today where they met up, like, every Sunday and had these events. It was like a 14-day event, and then it was, like, useless, and they went bankrupt.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? You built all of this for 14 days?
Mm-hmm.
It's, again, like, it's these people that in history that think they can rule for all time and then get too cocky and then end up getting, like, stabbed by their best friends or died with their lover.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what happens.
Have I told you about my theory about Cleopatra?
No.
Okay, I'm not a conspiracy theorist anymore
This is going
because
to be
there
a conspiracy
is...
theory, though.
No, this is just something that my brain went to. I'm going to say this now. I am not a conspiracy theorist because I think conspiracies are driven by the lack of knowledge. So every conspiracy I've had, I Googled it and just not made myself knowledgeable. And I'm like, factually, it's not a conspiracy anymore because I've proven myself wrong. But I was sitting here thinking about how Cleopatra, like, her last lines were like, you're never going to find me. And then, like, went off and died somewhere. And everyone says that the pyramids were built by aliens. And, like, all of this stuff in ancient Egypt is, like, fueled by aliens. Can you imagine Cleopatra was actually an alien? And she was like, you're never going to find where I died because
That'd be kind of funny.
she took off and her body's not here anymore?
That would be kind of funny.
How funny would that be? This is, like, the 7th time in this podcast that I've brought up aliens. But I just love space. But, like, for that one also, because there is no knowledge about where she died, the conspiracy is allowed to withhold.
Oh, I see.
Until if you never hear of me again, it's because it's true and they've taken me.
Yes, that's why. Absolutely why. Totally.
Yeah, or like the Library of Alexandria.
Oh, don't get me started on that one. I love that one.
Like the fact that these things happen in Egypt and like they just disappeared in history.
Well, Alexandria didn't just disappear. It did burn to the ground.
It burnt down and now it's like flooded, right? It's like underwater.
Well, no, it doesn't exist anymore because it burnt to the ground.
But the location of where it was, isn't it
I don't
underwater?
know that much. I believe there was theories that there was an annex underneath a mosque, but we weren't allowed to excavate to determine if there actually was or not.
Yeah, it got they like
So
refused to allow it, right?
yeah, they would not even let them move the building. Like they're like, we will pick the building up and move it and not touch it, but they're like, no, no dice, which is really unfortunate.
I just googled it,
Hmm.
but it's gonna take me a minute to find, so we're gonna keep talking while I. Oh, as I said, going back to being in London,
Hmm.
yeah, I was talking about a coworker. I was talking with a coworker today because we were talking about me moving to Charlotte because they're all down there, and I'm gonna be down there next week with them. So he was like giving me advice on where to go, and he said he had someone that when he worked at IBM that would travel every 6 months. Like he went and lived in Paris for 6 months,
Hmm.
Prague for 6 months, and I was like, I think like that's my dream. Sorry, 1 second, I have to crack my neck. I was like, that's my dream to like never be stagnant, always be traveling Europe. And he was like, well, why don't you go and like live somewhere else? And I was like, well, I want to live in London, but when I asked my old company, they told me no because they wouldn't pay for my visa. But I was like, but I will get to London. Oh
London.
no, it's just very close to the water.
Oh, yeah, I knew it was like right along the ocean.
Yeah, but I want to go so bad. I like have this driver like I'm like I need to be in London.
Yeah, you need to be a lot
Are
of
were you
places.
supposed to go in 2025?
No, I
No,
wasn't.
I need to be in London. I don't really need to be anywhere else. I'm done with travel. I think I talked about that last week.
My aunt was planning a trip for my family to go. I'm not going on it.
Smart.
It's not a great thing for me to
The
go with her.
trip or
No,
not
for
going?
me to go with her.
Oh. Fair.
So I won't.
I think I would stress you out if I traveled to London with you.
Yeah.
I think I would stress you out if I ever traveled with you because I am such like a
I mean, we've done it before.
kind of traveler. Yeah. But out of country is like even harder.
True.
I'm just like a firm believer in like get an Uber type travel or like we'll find the subway somewhere or like jump on a subway and get off a stop and just find what you can find, which is like not the best way to go, and try to plan everything if you're listening. That's my advice, but I don't plan well ever.
We do to an extent. Like we try to plan as much as we can, but every now and then it's all right. Well, we'll just figure out where we eat when we get there. That's about our unplanned
Yeah,
stuff.
that's what I do.
Um,
Oh, that was a wild first 14 minutes.
that was 15 minutes. Yeah, I guess it was 15 minutes.
Yeah. We really just talked about so many different topics. I was thinking about something earlier while I was working, and I just completely. I had it when we started this.
Hmm.
I want to call you out. You said I lose everything.
No,
It's
no, I
because
said
I
you
record.
always lose something.
Mm-hmm.
There's always something that you can't find or something that's not charged.
It's because I record. Well, it's because I don't have anything charged ever. My
Uh-huh.
For a point, my phone is on 12 right now.
Keep going. I'm not hearing a calling me
Oh,
out part.
and it's because no, you said you lose everything. It's because I record from bed. So when I'm done, I just like slide everything right next to my bed because I use my computer for a lot of things. So I had my headphones on it because when we record, everything stays together. My headphones slid underneath my bed, so I couldn't find them.
Mm.
But this whole I lose everything, I do not.
I never said you lose everything.
Mm.
I said,
Always
quote, I
seems
was
to be
going to say
something
you always
lost.
lose something. I never said you lose everything.
That's like tomato, tomato. Do you understand that, right?
No, it's not.
Yes, that literally those two sentences are like saying tomato and tomato. I so I literally spend most of my time, but so there's these guys that go live on TikTok that debate politics, and I was just listening to one of them because again, background noise.
Mhm.
I have a hair on my arm. And the guy he was debating I was listening, and it was for the first time ever that I was sitting here going, is this what like extreme gaslighting feels like? Like he would say something and the guy would repeat it back and he would be like, no, let me rephrase that. You're just not listening right. And I was like, what? Like it was the first time ever. Like I usually just sit like an anonymous viewer, like
Mhm.
I don't comment anything, but I actually commented and I was like, is this what being gaslit feels like? Like, no, you're just not listening to me properly. And the guy was just repeating the question that the other guy asked.
Yeah.
I
I've
was
seen
like,
that.
holy moly. Like a textbook definition of gaslighting. I was talking to my friend about it because I caught it the other day too. And I was like, I feel like the only benefit to me listening to this is it's going to make me so good for when I have a significant other in the future, because newsflash listeners, a lot of men gaslight. Not saying, not you, Curtis, but a lot of men gaslight. And I was like, this is going to make it so good in the future when I get a significant other and I can, like, actually understand how they're arguing with me instead of me sitting there like, what is being said right now? Mental manipulation. You don't have to bite your tongue.
I
You can
don't
say whatever you
I don't
want.
have anything to say to that.
It was just funny. I've done a lot of talking. What do you got, Curtis?
What do I have? Well, not much these days.
I think anyone listening should comment and say that Curtis should do a unemployed docu-series on our TikTok.
Okay, that's just you trying to get people to gang up on me.
No, I think it would be so fun.
What do you want me to do? Here I am sitting in my basement still. Okay,
No.
that's what it is.
Maybe while you're unemployed, start going to the gym again.
I did go yesterday. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna text you this one in like a not actually physically hurting myself way. I always forget when I go to the gym and I'm not happy that my philosophy is just destroy my body.
Mm-hmm.
I always forget that.
Yeah.
And then I feel great afterwards.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Not
Ugh.
physically great, but like mentally great.
Oh, I feel terrible every time I go to the gym right now. I leave and I'm like, oh my god, I hate everything.
You know, my body still hurts. I can't push myself out of a chair.
What
But
did you do?
upper body.
Upper body,
Yeah.
lower body, push, pull. Okay.
It was going to be upper body push, but the workout I had, I wanted to do more other stuff too. So it was upper body push pull
Okay.
with like
Yeah, I could see why your whole upper body
2
hurts.
sets of abs.
I haven't gotten not in a literal way, but I haven't gotten the balls to go and lift at the gym yet. I'm like only doing the treadmill, which sounds so sad.
I mean, I'm still at Planet Fitness, so it's not like I can lift.
It's still a gym.
Whoa, we said lift, and I said
It's
lift.
everything. It's everything that I would have. I don't really use free weights when I lift. I do dumbbells and cable machines.
I did use cables once. Other than that, I used a bar, and then I used one of the overhead press machines, and I did some push-ups and stuff like that.
I hate push-ups.
I started doing.
I tried doing the rower, and I realized how out of shape I was when I was like dead at 2 minutes.
Oh
on
yeah,
the
no,
rower.
I totally need to do more cardio, but I also refuse to do cardio.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't like cardio. No, I started.
Is that everything you did? Is that everything you do? You go to the gym and play video games?
I mean, I'm looking for jobs, but you know, it's not exactly
Oh, yeah.
easy right now since there's not much out there.
They are hiring. Well, it's actually kind of funny to say, but I saw this post that's saying that a lot of companies are hiring recruiters, which is a good sign because that means like the economy's going the right direction. That if they're hiring recruiters, they're looking for a job surge. But I don't know.
Yeah,
if that's something you would look for.
I didn't enjoy most of that,
Yeah.
so I probably wasn't gonna go
But
back
that
to it.
means that you don't have to look for a recruiter position. That means more jobs will come in the future.
Hopefully, yeah. Just when's the future,
Oh, good question. I have no clue.
right?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. Just trying to
Yeah.
figure out the when and what I can do until then, because I did call down to Dick's because we had found out, because we know somebody who works there, that they weren't hiring people for just weekends, evenings. They were looking for more like day shift. And so I called down and I was like, "Oh, hey, you know, my availability changed. You know, I'm free now during the day." And the lady goes, "Okay, well, we're not really hiring anymore right now, but after Christmas." I was like, "Oh,
That's odd.
well, Black Friday's in 2 days."
Yeah, but they usually hire for the month of December. It's holiday pay.
Yeah.
Or holiday hours.
I don't know. They still have the seasonal posting up, so who knows?
Yeah, well, it's the seasonal for winter.
And like holiday is what they. No, it's like the holiday posting is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going. There's not really any new jobs either, which is the real like crappy part about this time.
Yeah, I agree.
Gotta file my grievance.
Move south with me.
I don't want to move to Jersey.
I'm not going to be
oh,
here
you
much
said
longer.
move south
I
with
said move
me.
south.
I thought you said of me.
Oh, no. I would, although New Jersey's like one of the nicest places to live in the sense of like We have amazing public transportation, great distance from the city, and stunning beaches and woods. I can't live here much longer.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't mind living here anymore.
I think you would like Charlotte. When I move down, you can come visit, and
Oh yeah,
then
no, I'll come visit.
if you like it, you can decide if you want to move.
I'll come visit.
I'm really just trying to find people to go down with me because I'm terrified to move alone.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I did go on Sunday to get fitted for my golf clubs. I forget if we talked about that.
Yeah, we did talk about that. We
talked
recorded
about that?
Monday.
We recorded Monday
Mhm.
of this week.
Mhm.
I don't remember recording this
Did we?
Monday. We couldn't have because I.
Or did we talk on the phone? Did you call me?
Yes, Monday night.
I think it's only because like if we're talking, I assume we're recording. So if you called and we talked about this, I thought we recorded it in
probably
my
it.
brain.
So I did go get fitted for clubs on Sunday. We were told 2 to 3 weeks for delivery. I had an email that says estimated ship date December 2nd. That's ship not receive. They came today.
That's good though, right?
Well, no, it's great, but it's an insane turnaround. They're custom, like
Yeah.
custom made for me, but they came in 2 days
Yeah, that is crazy turnaround.
from California.
They got the order, did it in one day, and overnighted it.
Yeah, which was insane. But they're really pretty, and I'm really looking forward to them. We did talk on it was when we talked on the phone because I remember telling you that I can't explain how nice they feel because you don't play golf.
Yeah, when I move, I'm gonna have to.
Are you?
Because that's what all of my people do. Not my people, the people I work with do. So they play golf.
Well, then when I come
They all live
visit,
with, like-
I'll bring my clubs.
Yeah, bring your clubs and patience, because I'm gonna have to learn.
No, it's fine. I've played with
I suck.
people like that before. I'm not great.
I What was I gonna say? You were talking about golf, and it reminded me of something in my brain.
I don't know. My dad and I also will probably going down south in the spring on a golf trip.
Where?
We don't know yet. We're figuring that one out. We're just going. It's just the vague plan of going to do it rather than. We don't have specifics yet. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay.
So we'll figure that part out when we get there, and it becomes important.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know
That's.
if I have much more.
Yeah, no, I don't have much going on. How far in? 26 minutes?
Do you got any random topics that you think of during the day? Like I brought up aliens. I think they're the fun topics to talk about. Well, tomorrow's Thanksgiving,
Tomorrow
which
is
I feel
Thanksgiving.
like I'm doing my turkey. That's what when you were talking about golf, that's what I was
Oh.
thinking about. I'm doing my turkey trot for like the 5th year in a row.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Actually, not the 5th year. How many years? Last time I did it was not last time I did it. I started it in 2021. What does that put it?
3 years.
3rd year in a row.
I forgot you do that.
That can't be 3 years because we're graduated too. Oh, senior year, 1 year out, 2 year. So this is my 4th one. I've done it 3 times. Yeah, I'm not prepared to do it this year. Even though like I was running for like the past 9 months, I haven't ran in a month. So now I'm nervous to do 3.5 miles.
Understandable. I would also be nervous to run 3.5 miles, regardless of how often I ran.
Do you know? Okay, not do you know? I saw this
The
on one of the
Muffin Man?
podcasts I listened to, and I want you to. Yeah, do you know the Muffin Man?
Unfortunately, I do not.
I want you to rank the hardness of these activities.
Okay.
Okay, wait. What is 100 kgs?
100 kilograms?
Yeah, in pounds.
That's a good question. I feel like
Okay, is it? I want you to rank the hardest to the least hard.
Okay.
A sub 25 5K.
Okay.
So that's 3.5 miles in 25 minutes. A sub 4-hour marathon.
Okay.
A half an Ironman.
Okay.
And bench pressing 225.
Personally.
So mine's gonna be different. Mine's gonna be different because it's from a female. But for a male, what would you rank them?
I'd put the half an Ironman probably at the top.
And so for anyone listening that doesn't know what an Ironman is, it's gonna sound absolutely outrageous. But a half an Ironman would be like a 13.1 kilometer, 13.1 mile run, a half of that in swim.
I think so.
Something like that. And then double that in bike ride. So it'd be a marathon bike ride all together in one day.
Yeah, it's like a triathlon.
Yeah, essentially craziness.
Yeah.
So that's your hardest.
Yeah, I'm putting that at the top since it's so many different things. Um, and then the sub 25, no, the sub 4 hour marathon, sub 25 5K. Is this for me personally or just in general?
Just your average man. Your average man.
Bench 225.
Easiest.
Yeah.
Okay, see, so mine's not gonna be, obviously mine's not gonna be bench 225, but even if we like say like, oh, bench 145, I think for me, I would put the sub 25 5K at the easiest for women, because I think it, obviously there's a biological difference.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easier for women to pick up their like get their paces up to where they can run a sub 25 than it is for them to build the muscle to be able to bench heavy weights.
Yeah, it's kind of where I was going in my head when I thought
The
about it.
people I was listening to said that the Iron Man was the second easiest.
Ooh, what?
And I was like, what is, like, we must have a completely, but this is also, I'm going to talk, I'll say the person's name. This is also the same YouTuber that his name's Cal Freezy.
Oh, I love
and
Cal
he's
Freezy.
convinced that, like, he can do anything. And he just ran the New York City Marathon with, like, barely any marathon experience. And he did a sub 4 hour, which is crazy. So, and his theory is, like, anyone can go out and run a half marathon if they wanted to, which I think is, like, wildly inaccurate. But
I mean, in theory, you
this
could.
was from his podcast. A nonstop 13.1
well, I'm
miles.
not saying it would
I
be
completely
easy.
disagree.
I'm saying you could, though.
I completely disagree. I do not think anyone can, like, I do not think the people from our track team in college, our throwers, can go out and run 13.1 miles.
No, absolutely not.
As someone that the longest I've ever ran was 8, and it was a couple weeks ago, and even that was like hell on earth.
The longest I've ever ran without stopping is a half a mile.
I hate you.
I don't run. I hate running.
I know.
I think it's harder out of college when you're running just on a treadmill.
Yeah, I had to run on a treadmill the other day, and I was miserable because it gets dark at 4 o'clock.
I think about kids.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Sometimes.
Whoa, where? Which one did you answer? You said you think about kids? What about kids? You have to elaborate.
Well, that I
want to
have kids.
Now?
Someday.
I go to school now? Okay, yes. Someday I agree. Not now.
No, I can't right now. I'm not in a position to.
I was going to say, for obvious reasons,
Ghost,
like, I don't know.
It depends on the day.
Your job. Okay, are we going to jump between two conversations?
No, we're just going to go with Ghost.
But
Ghost seems fine.
Okay, well, I'm going to finish on yours. I actually completely think about the opposite, that I maybe don't want kids. Because I look at people giving birth and having to hold their infant, and it scares the shit out of me having to hold a baby and, like, take care of another living human being.
That's understandable.
And ghosts, I have completely stopped watching paranormal things because I was getting so spooked by the idea of ghosts.
Yeah, I don't generally tend to watch paranormal things for the reason of I think too much. But it depends. Am I home alone?
Yeah.
Is there other things going on? Do I hear noises? Then maybe.
Okay, the only reason I don't get spooked in my house anymore, I'd like to preface, don't get spooked any more of ghosts in my house, is because I'm like, I've been here for 20-something years. If there was ghosts, they would have 100% effed with me by now.
That's what you think.
Well, if they're not. But, like, I also think, like, I think we talked about it. We have talked about it. But we were both very, very hammered. But I think I have, like, a sensitivity to things like that.
Oh, that night.
And
yeah.
a lot of the things that, like, I feel are, like, wildly accurate and come up later. Like, I don't know, the one night me and Curtis were walking home and I was getting weird vibes, but, like, I was like, it feels like there's, like, a childish vibes. Well, when I drove by the next day and there was kids' toys at the cemetery that we walked by, I was like, that's weird. But,
I don't remember that one.
yeah.
I don't think you ever told me the second part of that one.
Yeah. It's like a child cemetery that we walked by that night. The night that, so what happened, we didn't want to drive to a bar because we all wanted to get drunk. So we walked 3 miles home from said bar at my beach house.
3 miles.
It was a long 3 miles. But what was I saying? Oh, I think I have a sensitivity to it. So I I think back to my childhood when we would go to my nanny's house and, like, everyone in my family is convinced that my nanny's house was haunted as hell. And like everything about that house gives me the vibes to this day. And I've never felt that in my home. So I think I'm safe here. But like, have you watched the Conjuring movies?
No, I do not watch those for that reason.
Yeah, I wish I didn't. I wish someone would have told me at a young age, don't watch movies, they scare you.
Hmm.
But like, I watched the Conjuring movies, and the house like felt super homey at first, and then it turned out to be like possessed by a demon, and that right there gives me enough to never want to move to an actual home.
I mean, wasn't your college sorority house haunted?
Yes. Yeah, I talk about this. I was talking about this story the other when I was in Boston because my friend was talking about how she doesn't believe in ghosts. Um and I said my sorority house in college was super duper haunted to the fact that my friend's mom is a medium and she came and she like told us about like spoke to the ghosts in the house because they were freaking us out. That like shoes were getting moved, doors were getting opened, like weird stuff was happening in the kitchen. Like the house was haunted as hell. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't experienced any of that, and I don't want to.
Yeah. Don't live in peace.
Was not planning on it.
It's an easier way to go.
I was really just planning on, not doing anything like that, and staying in my lane.
Yeah, I want to get a house in like 1 second. I want to get a house in like the mountains and have like live in the woods with a yard and like be able to like frolic barefoot through the yard.
That's a dream right there.
Yeah, right? That sounds so peaceful.
It does.
But I also want to live in the city. So I was like, I want to have a city apartment and a house in the woods so I can live in the apartment but then go frolic when I want to frolic.
Okay.
That sounds like the dream.
That's certainly something that I don't know how to respond to. I'm not one to go outside barefoot. I hate that feeling.
I hate shoes.
I do too.
What?
But I hate my feet feeling dirty. Like I hate wearing
That's
shoes,
fair,
but I hate
but
my
when
feet feeling dirty.
Yeah, when I picture it, I don't picture dirt. I picture like grass. Like I'm not like frolicking through mud. I'm frolicking through like clean green grass.
Ah, yeah. Still, I don't like the way it feels on my feet.
Fair. I have that way with my hands, which I think we experienced in college when I had to use chalk.
Mhm.
I get like really really grossed out when my hands are dirty. Like even like if I'm cooking and I'm like cooking and I like crack an egg on the stove and I get it on my thumb, I like immediately need to like scrub my hands cuz I can't focus on anything till it's like completely cleaned off.
Speaking of hands being dirty, I forgot I was going to text you this one last night. I did pottery yesterday.
Oh my god, like made your own mug?
Bowls. I made 2 bowls. The one
Where? That's like super cool.
there's one like art place that does pottery classes. We did a private party.
So Curtis is picking up hobbies.
No, this was a thing that my aunt put together while my cousin was home, and I went to it.
That's fun.
Yes.
Those are like really really popular on TikTok right now.
Yeah, my bowls are very nice. Hold on, allow me to send you a
Did
picture.
you paint them or did
They're
you
going to
just...
be glazed.
Okay.
But no, I did not paint them.
Did you ever do Color Me Mine when you were a kid? Did you ever do Color Me Mine when you were a kid?
I don't know what that is.
It's like you would go and you would paint your own mugs, bowls, sculptures, stuff like that. It was like claymations that you would like go and pick out and paint.
I didn't.
Oh.
Sometimes I think my sister did. I think. Don't quote me on that.
I'm not artistic, so I didn't enjoy it as much when I was a kid because I would just get really frustrated. Oh my god, Curtis, those look really really good.
I think the big one's going to be my pasta bowl
Yeah.
when I make Alfredo.
Those are really good. And the other one looks like a cereal bowl.
I was really trying to make an ice cream bowl,
Fair.
but the second one kind of didn't come out real well. It had to be cut.
Oh, but when I was a kid, we would do Color Me Mine, and I was never good at it because I like didn't have patience and I couldn't. I would get like a little OCD, so if I couldn't keep the paint between the lines, I would just get mad and hate it, and it was very like typical Jenna, and but now I think about it, and I'm like, if that would be like a cute date for adults.
Oh yeah.
Like to go and do Color Me Mine, but when we were kids, it was just filled with like children.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think my sister was talking about going back with her boyfriend. And then, of course, it was a girl teaching us. So instantly, my mom and sister, when we get back in the car, Curtis, wasn't she cute?
That's when you say,
I don't say anything.
can you guys not try to set me up?
Nope. That's exactly what they're gonna do. Or sorry, not try to set me up.
My parents
Just
don't do that anymore. My parents think I'm going to die alone. My mom says, you're going to find the person you're meant to be with when you're not looking. Okay, well, I think I would have found him a long time ago then.
well, maybe.
But I'm also, like, at the point, like, my same idea with kids is how I feel about marriage, too. Because I have this, like, ill faith in humanity right now, and I'm like, I don't really want to bring kids into it, and I don't want to marry a man because I don't want to get cheated on. And
Out.
3 out of 5 of the people I know have been cheated on in the past 6 months. So,
Well,
I'm like, it's just not worth it.
it's not me.
And don't, yeah, literally. I thought you were going to be like, well, that's not all guys. And I'm like, when the statistics are proving that over 50% of men are cheating, like, it's not even worth it to look.
I mean,
I would rather just have like a successful career.
I was gonna ask what the statistics were the other way.
Not as much. It's because we're getting to this point, and it's like, this is like a hot topic, but like, I don't like, if you follow a lot of like the pop culture stuff online, we're getting to a point that people are actively believing that men aren't meant to be monogamous and men are meant to be able to like sleep around because of how they're genetically wired, but women are meant to have monogamy, so the standards are held differently, which I think is a load of actual BS, and I think it's a way of men saying that I want to sleep around and we're going to blame it on genetics when realistically we're all humans and we're all built the same way, and there's not that much difference in our like brain matter and capacity to make women have to be monogamous and men not to have to be monogamous. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Yeah, but if you scroll through social media right now, it's like all of these, what do they call them?
Mm-hmm.
Alpha males.
Oh.
Is that what they call themselves?
I have no idea.
Like, yeah, like I'm pretty sure that's what they call themselves. I have a book on it too, because I told you like I'm like switching my reading on and off with essentially like Mistborn and all of these other books, and it talks about in the book that like all of these alpha males are taking over pop culture and like influencing younger guys to believe in the idea that men are not meant to be monogamous, which is causing more men to cheat instead of women.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a whole brainwashing scheme. Oh, sorry, that was a 3-minute tangent, and I know you don't like to talk about that stuff, but
It's fine. I listened, but you know, not that I ignored you. It just didn't process in my head.
I hope the people that listen are like, that describes the problem that Jenna is just explaining. Like, I hope they're like, this is the problem.
You said a lot of words, and I did not feel like there was anything I could say in that situation, so my brain went,
So you just didn't listen to it?
no, I listened to it. You just said the word monogamous and not monogamous a lot, and that kind of messed my brain up.
Fair.
And
Monogamous is like a weird word. It's also on Hinge profiles, which makes me so confused because,
yeah, I agree.
again, I'm on male, like I look at men on Hinge, so I don't know what it's like on the other side, but men will put that they want short-term relationships but monogamy. And my brain can't process that.
I see a lot of women looking for short-term open to long. I don't understand what a short-term relationship is.
Yeah, I like don't understand why that's an option. You're either looking for a relationship or you're not. Or the people that are like, I'm trying to figure out my relationship goals. Get the fuck out of here. Like, what? Okay, go to Tinder. Like, I don't.
Yeah, no, I don't get
the ones that are the ones or there are some people that are like looking for my relationship goals, but I know I want monogamy, and I understand that monogamy is like one person and like you're not open to like sleep around essentially, but also if you're looking for anything other than a long-term relationship and looking for monogamy, like anything other than that combo, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
My standard on Hinge is if you don't say long-term relationship, I refuse to like you. I'm not looking for anything else.
No, I agree. I have not gone through
like
that
I'm not even gonna
actually, I think I'm at the point where mine's about to like deactivate temporary, like go into like hibernation mode because I use it so infrequently.
It does that after like 6 months. Yeah, mine did that. I look at mine every like 9 to 10 days, and that's like my one thing. Like I don't really look at what people look like because I don't think photos do anyone the right way. And I like scroll through the prompts, but I look at that section and see how much of it's filled out. If you have like 2 lines and it says like your hometown and that you're trying to figure out your relationship goals, we are on different pages and I'm not giving you the time of day. Next.
I have most of mine filled out.
I have like almost all of them. Okay, so we're at 46 minutes, and if this is your first time listening to this podcast, we try to keep it around 40 to 45 minutes so that it's in the time that people drive to work and or just a manageable amount of time. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Follow us on Talking Tandomness on Instagram and TikTok once we start posting, although I think it's getting banned.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. TikTok, the ban got passed to the House of
Oh,
Representatives.
that ban. Oh.
January 21st. I think that's when they put the date that it's getting banned. If it doesn't, we're going to try posting on it. Once I grow... Second time I'm saying this, for growing a pair of balls. Thank you for listening. Curtis, do you have anything to add?
No, I do not.
Cool talk.
I don't have a life right now, okay? Don't
Fair.
hate on me.
Bye.
Goodbye.